Jesse's calculated actions reveal chilling indifference and a disturbing quest for control.
Fire and Wakatere Ranges, the exact place where he would later dump her body. But that wasn't the worst of it. Jesse also reportedly visited an adult site and watched videos while Grace's lifeless body was still in the room. And it gets even worse. He allegedly took intimate photos of her lifeless body, even going so far as to manipulate her to get the shots he wanted. But wait, there's more. The next morning, while he was out buying a suitcase and cleaning supplies, he was texting the woman he was going on a date with later that evening. This reality shows how little he cared about what he had just done. He wasn't bothered by taking someone's life, he just wanted to go on like nothing happened.
So, in my opinion, the shape of the probable blood staining and the presence of blood and other residues in the underlay and the floor provide strong support for the proposition that cleanup of blood had occurred in this area.
The pathologist also described the injuries he found on Grace's body, including her arms, torso, and neck, which suggested she had been pinned down and asphyxiated.
There has been sufficient pressure in that place for a sufficient period of time and for sufficient force for that bruising to occur.
Apparently, Grace was not Jesse's first victim. He had apparently been targeting women on Tinder to have rough encounters with. One of these women was another British tourist he met about 8 months before Grace. He had brought her back to his motel room and forced himself on her while she lay on the bed, terrified and frozen. She kept quiet about the assault until she saw his face on the news when he was charged with Grace's murder. She later told the jury that for a long time she'd woken up crying and screaming with flashbacks and nightmares, terrified that her attacker would track her down. Another woman Jesse messaged online, who was hesitant to meet him in person, shared a string of messages where he describes his preferences. In these conversations, he reportedly admitted why he liked doing what he did, saying it made him feel more superior and in control. According to the prosecution, this desire for domination is what ultimately led to Grace's death. After a 3-week trial and 5 hours of jury deliberation, Jesse was found guilty of Grace's murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for at least 17 years.
Grace was taken away from us in the most brutal fashion a year ago, and our lives and family have been ripped apart. This will be with us for the rest of our lives.